After the drive from Las Vegas, we're going to be visiting the least crowded national park in Utah and the United States, Zion National Park. On our first day here, we had just enough time to get into the park for sunset. We were able to park right at the visitor center and do the Pararoos Trail around the Watchman area of the park. I've been to this park one time before a few years ago, so I knew the spots that I wanted to hit pretty immediately. In this area at sunset was definitely one of those spots. Pretty quickly after getting to this spot, I got one of my favorite photos of the entire trip, which was this photo. When we visited the park and Utah in general, we were visiting during a record heat wave, so going at sunset was definitely a nice break from the heat. It was like averaging over 100 degrees every single day while we were there. The path here, in my opinion, offers some of the best views of the park, and it is paved and super easy and accessible for almost everybody to get to. After sunset, it was time to head back to the hotel and get ready for the next morning, where we were going to be diving deeper into the park. And by deeper, I mean getting a shuttle, riding it up to the Narrows and the Riverwalk Trail. During the heat wave, this trail was fantastic. It was mostly in shade and it was right by the river, so it was a very stark contrast of how hot it was here compared to the rest of the park. At points here, it was actually close to 60 degrees. Once we finished the Riverwalk Trail, we ended up at the Narrows. We didn't do very much in the Narrows. We walked probably about 100, 200 yards into the Narrows. We did this because there's some pretty steep drop-offs where the water can get about waist to shoulder deep, and I had a lot of camera gear on me and I didn't really want to fry all of that. Here's where you can see that this park doesn't have many crowds at all. It is very, very, very quiet, and there's not a lot of foot traffic going through any of these popular destinations. Continuing on, we were able to take some photos at the Temple of Sinaloa, which is right at the beginning of the Narrows. You can see a view of it like you'll see right now. Once we were done at the Narrows area, we decided to head back towards the shuttle bus, but we had to make friends with the resident squirrel. On our way back down, we were able to grab some lunch at the visitor center, or hotel actually. Before driving ourselves up the canyon, we made a few more stops. This was originally our final stop of the day, but we actually were able to find a parking spot at the Canyon Overlook Trail, which ended up saving us so much time on this trip and allowed us to end up going to the Grand Canyon at the end of the trip, because it saved us almost an entire day. After our day in Zion, our next stop was Bryce Canyon National Park.